Hello everyone and welcome. In the video today I kind of want to go over what I keep in my backpack for landscape photography. I've had a number of people ask, so I just thought I'd kind of go through everything. So I emptied out my backpack and I will just go through everything that I have here that I put in the backpack. I'm not going to pack it right now because it takes a little bit more time and I want to get through everything that I keep in my backpack. So to start, the backpack that I've been using is this one here. It's the Mindshift, and it is a good sized bag. I've been using it for a number of years. It's called the Backlight 36 liter. And I think Mindshift, as you probably know, is now part of Think Tank, but you'll be able to find it at the links below. Anyway, so that's the backpack that I've been using for a number of years. I'm going to test out some other ones here in the future, but now let's move on. So the bodies that I use right now are the XT5 as well as the XS20 that is being used right now for recording. So those are the two bodies that I keep in the bag. And of course, like all of you, you'll know that you have additional batteries and additional SD cards that you keep in there. I have mine in this little Think Tank holder, but those are kind of, then the basics. The lenses that I use, I have most of them here except for the one that's on the camera that I'm using, and they're everywhere from the 14 millimeter to the 80 millimeter macro. The 10 to 24 I'm using on the XS20 right now, and then I have a 16 to 80, the 15 to 140, and the 70 to 300. So these are all the lenses. You'll notice I'm mainly using zoom lenses. I have the 1 prime that I'll talk about on another video, because this one here is a special one that I use, this 14 millimeter, and this is specifically for shooting infrared landscapes. And I'm going to do a special video on that because I've had a number of people ask me about the infrared images that I show on the website and how I achieve those. And so we'll talk about those more at another time. Now you probably, and if not, might have noticed that on every one of my lenses, I do have a filter adapter ring. This is a magnetic adapter ring, and the filters that I use are the Maven filters. And I use the Maven filters because they are just truly the best filters available. And the reason why I say that is because not only are they strong and durable, and they have all kinds of coating on them to resist scratches and things like that, but they are the best in neutrality. That when you measure the neutral density filter, which is supposed to be neutral, and especially at long exposures, Maven has been proven to be the most neutral in a neutral density filter. Besides their other filters, like their polarizers, have almost no color cast. So when using neutral density filters in these really long exposures, I really don't like getting into doing a lot of post-production work and color balancing and that sort of thing. So I have migrated over to the Maven filter line. I did a video on it earlier about these filters. I just think they're absolutely spectacular. And by the way, if you're not using magnetic filters, then you're definitely going to need one of these little filter clamps in your bag, because screw-in filters inevitably are going to jam. That is just a real pain to have happen while you're out in the field. Anyway, so what else in my bag? I have a teleconverter, a 1.4 teleconverter that I do use once in a while. I've come to really enjoy that. Camera strap. The camera strap that I'm using right now is actually made by Magpul. They make a lot of commercial products, and it's sold by Really Right Stuff. It's still in the Magpul packaging, but great strap. Maybe not the prettiest one to look at, compared to all the leather straps and things like that, but it's very, very durable, and I really like the way the strap can just come apart into two, so then I can use it to attach to my tripod to a strap and put that over my shoulder if I need to, or I can just put that in together like that, and now I have this to go onto the bottom of my camera. As well as, if I really want to, I can use 2 points of contact on my camera if I'm at least concerned with that, which I never would be with a Magpul strap. Anyways, so there's the Magpul strap. What else? Of course, if you're doing panoramas, then you need a nodal rail. And I talked about that earlier. We'll be doing more videos on it soon about doing panoramas with a nodal rail. And the nodal rail that I just truly love is this actually new one made by Acratech. It's got a beautiful locking clamp on it that none of the others have. The clamp slides back and forth. It can't come off the rail. And there's a number of other features that I mentioned before on this nodal rail, which is absolutely great. All right, let's see what else we have. For doing panoramas, besides the nodal rail, depending upon how exact you want to be, you'll get into using a side gimbal. And this is the one that I use. It's from Really Right Stuff. It is just made just totally solid and smooth turning, and very nice and light and compact to keep in your bag. And I just highly recommend this. I'll be doing a full video on doing multi-row panoramas and making sure that all of your images do line up so that you don't have any problems in post-production. All right, so let's see. Now we're going to get onto some cleaning supplies. So cleaning supplies I keep in a little think tank bag, and in this bag there are things like, normally I carry a rocket blower. I know you've probably all heard of those. I keep a little mini blower. The rocket blower I just find a little bit big to carry in my bag all the time. Some sensor swabs, as well as some sensor cleaning fluid if I have to use those later on in the evening to try to clean something. And I also have these PEC pads that I'll put a link to. Once again, very handy for cleaning your camera, your lenses, and I highly recommend keeping those in your bag. The feet, as you know, that I mentioned before that I keep on my tripod, but it's over there, is the claw feet. I keep those on my tripod all the time. Sometimes when I'm traveling, I'll unscrew them because they are a little bit sharp. But those are the ones I keep on my tripod almost 90% of the time. I do carry some spikes with me, a set of spikes just in case for certain situations. And then I also have the baskets. So I can just pop these baskets on, and that way it will hold up really well, whether it's in snow or sand or different types of terrain that might call for something like this. Very important, have a first aid kit of some kind. You just don't want to be caught in a situation and you just are without something like this, because it really hopefully doesn't, but it can come in handy. Color checker. We'll talk about this in an upcoming video on how and why to use a color checker, even for doing landscape photography, what times of day to use it, what times of day not to use it. So we'll get into that. Let's see, and another one of my bags here that I recommend carrying is a roll of gaffer tape. You just don't want to get caught where you need to tape something up, and having a roll of gaffer tape is very handy. I carried my headlight. Gets dark out. You didn't expect it to get dark, but doesn't take up much room. Very handy to have in the bag. Over here I've got an absorbent towel. Why? You get close to a waterfall and all of a sudden you get a spray on your camera and lens, or you just want to keep it covered. You get caught in a little bit of rain. Very handy to have a good absorbent towel at hand just in case. Cleaning cloths, the ones that I have come to use over many years that I really like are from a company called Visible Dust out of Toronto, Ontario, and I'll have a link below, and I have just found them to be spectacular lens cleaning cloths that I've used for years and years and years. In this bag here I carry an extra remote control. It has no battery, it is just a nice passive remote control just in case. I always recommend, and you've heard me talk about it, that you need a remote control as a landscape photographer just to capture that special moment, the big splash or something like that when you're mounted on a tripod. Carry a multi-tool. There are others that others than this one. This one is from Really Right Stuff. I've shown it before that I use on my tripod, but it has just a plethora of different tools inside the handle, which come in really handy. You can also use it as a handle if you want to for putting on your camera. And let's see what else I might have forgotten. I carry these little rain bags, which are great to just put your camera in, or to put over your camera. You put your camera in if it happens to get where you're caught in a downpour. I do keep a plain baggie, as well as what is called some moisture munchers, and I'll have linked below where if your camera does get wet and you can only get so much water off, you put the moisture muncher in a bag along with your camera overnight and then it should be nice and dry for you to get started first thing in the morning. One thing that I just received is an air tag. Great to throw in your backpack so you can always find it, and hopefully it never comes in handy, but if you need to, it's there. One of the things that I've mentioned in my notes that you'll see below in links are these cinch locks. These cinch locks are from Lightwear, and Lightwear was the first to come out with these. You'll see other ones there that are like red cords that are kind of tied with this same little connector on it, but the ends can fray, and I just don't like anything where you can wind up with fibers that can come off and perhaps even get on your camera and your lens, on your sensor. So these are all sealed professionally, which I really, really like, and they're just handy where you can just wrap them around, you know, a tripod leg or something and just connect things very easily with this little pull mechanism. Okay, and to wrap it up, a couple of other things that I haven't mentioned yet. I now have a little tabletop tripod, or ground tripod, I should say, because I don't do tabletop. This would all be out on the ground level, and these are just really handy to keep, because even though you can get to ground level with even your large big tripod, sometimes you just don't have the space and you just need to have that small little tripod with you to get into certain areas. And of course, I do recommend getting one with a leveling head, and we'll talk about that at another time as in why I do that. Last thing that I keep in my backpack is my filter bag, and I've mentioned this one before. It is from Mindshift, and it carries all of my Maven filters, the main ones that I like to use, the polarizers, the neutral density, the infrared, and this is just a real handy bag because once I take it out of my backpack, I can either put it on my belt, or there is a little cable here that makes it really handy to then wrap around the tripod. And it is just very useful. And then in the front of this, I have another cleaning cloth just in case, to make sure those filters are nice and clean. So that kind of wraps it up with everything that I keep in my backpack. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you please would subscribe and like the video, you'll be notified of new ones coming up real soon. Thanks again for watching. Bye for now.